Thanks so much, Hakim and Najib. Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri to both of you. And yes, certainly Sharaad has had his fair share of Aidilfitri celebrations over the years. But I have to say, this is the first time I've seen him wear a tanjak for Raya. You look lovely, I have to say.
Thank you so much, Melissa.
So
I mean, it is, my first time wearing tanjak. So I'm, in that sense, it's a very new experience. I don't generally costume myself when it comes to Hari Raya. But, they're right, Najib Arif is saying that, many Malaysians, especially us who live in cities and suburbs, live in very multicultural contexts.
Yeah,
and so when anybody has a celebration, we're all part of it or somehow, kind of drawn into it.
Well, we've been colleagues for many years, about 9 years. Now we've celebrated many Rayas together. And I know that you are particularly fond of the Raya food.
Well, I think who isn't? I mean, most of us would have had the, Ramadan Bazaar, Pasar Malam experience in the run-up to Hari Raya. And then, because when Hari Raya comes, if you're very lucky, you get to go to somebody's home, and I was, where the food is special, meaning, it harkens back to a time, for instance, when there were a lot of kinds of influences coming from different parts of the world.
Right.
And, I've had this dish where it was meat boiled down to some sort of goo. It's sort of Turkish Circassian. No, it's actually beautiful. And you eat it with honey. And it comes from Johor.
Is that a Johor dish?
It is a Johor dish, but it comes from, Central Asia. And so it has these wonderful influences and family connections and genealogies. I love that about it. Because this is new for me, the tanjak.
Well, every year something new, right?
Yeah. And, actually, if you're very interested in this design, tanjak Fansuri is the Instagram to go to, and you can just have a look at it. All these wonderful contemporary designs.
Well, we've got a special guest joining us on the show today. With us is Yang Teramat Mulia Tan Sri Tunku Puteri Intan Safinaz binti Almarhum Sultan Abdul Halim Muazzam Shah, Tengku Temanggung Kedah and Chairperson of the Malaysian Red Crescent Society, or MRCS. Thank you so much for joining us on the show tonight, Tunku Puteri. Selamat Hari Raya to you. How are you?
Thank you very much. Selamat Hari Raya as well to you both.
Well,
thank you so much.
I just want to ask you, so, this is a very strange year for all of us. How is this Raya different from all your previous Rayas, Tunku Puteri?
Oh, my word, it couldn't be more different because usually in the past we have big family gatherings and then the public comes to the house, the istana, when I was living there. And then we meet hundreds of people as a family, but obviously it's impossible now. So we're just confined to very, very close and immediate family, and it's very strange. But we're ready to embrace this new norm.
Yeah, Tunku Puteri, I want to ask you, if there are people in your family, from a different generation who might remember actually Hari Raya spent, or any festivity spent under different circumstances. Malaysia over the last 100 years has gone through all kinds of things. We've had war, we had the emergency, we have had all kinds of exceptional circumstances where things did in fact change. Have you heard stories of different types of Rayas?
I'm afraid I haven't. I live with my aunt who's almost 90 years old, but she lived a large part of her life abroad in Paris. I think her Raya was also very, very different at the embassy with the staff at the Malaysian embassy in Paris.
Can I ask you how you're practicing safe distancing this Raya? Has that affected, your festive spirit? I know a lot, Raya has a lot to do with salam and the hugging and the family. how has that been for you?
I think we need to project emotion rather than translate it into physical contact. I think a lot of warmth and love can be, we project it through speech and through just being together and sharing food.
That's lovely.
Yeah, Tunku Puteri, of course, the Kedah Royal House is, I think, one of the oldest, the oldest royal house of the country. It was steeped in tradition and symbolism. That surely continues. What do you feel about the role of, the institution in terms of bringing people together and reminding us about the importance of unity at this period?
I think at any time, not just Hari Raya, we all need to come together as a country, and from the apex of the Yang Persatuan Agong to the royal households to individuals. I think the thing about the challenge of COVID-19 is actually it's a great leveler of people. between us that we need to help shoulder responsibilities. And it's not, we are all accountable now, not just the people in the police or the army or charitable organizations or the Red Crescent like ourselves. We really rely on an individual, everybody to come together.
Yeah, and you mentioned the Red Crescent. I was wondering, Tunku Puteri, how did you become involved with the Red Crescent and its initiatives?
Well, Malaysia Red Crescent is been in an organization from from the British times, actually, if we look back in history. And I've been involved for the last 25 years as a member and as a chairman of Kedah. And then I foresaw that there's disasters and the tsunami, and there were flooding and constantly happening throughout the year. And people really needed to come together. That's why I was voted in, actually. I'm an elected official in the Red Crescent. So I'm really grateful for the support and the trust that the members of the Red Crescent has put on me as the current chairman.
Tunku Puteri, what do you think you bring to the table in terms of the agenda for the Red Crescent Society?
My role, I think, is we are part of a grouping of 192 countries around the world that has a Red Crescent Society. So we also come together at meetings and conventions and share ideas and the direction of the movement as a whole, the Red Cross and Red Crescent around the world. And one of the things that I think is new and interesting for me as a leader now is that being female is actually something new as a leader, as a chairperson of the Red Crescent. And there are a lot of issues of gender sensitivity and issues of youth and empowerment of youth and the importance of protecting girls and women and empowering women throughout our movement.
I really love that. I love that you're looking at it also from, the gendered perspective, that perhaps, using your role to address some of the inequalities. Can you tell us more a little bit about that? Like what have you seen whilst in this role?
Well, I'd like to see more leadership really amongst ladies in the Red Crescent movement, because we are quite an established organization. So through history, it's ladies have not so much been in the sort of direction and formed the strategy of the Red Crescent. And this is not just Malaysia, this is worldwide. So this is one of the thrusts that the movement as a whole has tried to empower girls, empower young people to participate in the movement. Not just girls, but the youth in general, but women to take a role in management as well as forming strategies.
Could you help us understand the ground sentiments and also the needs and conditions following the lockdown? It's affected many people's livelihoods. Kedah, of course, has the honor of being one of the first few states to be declared green or moving in that direction. But what is happening in terms of people's livelihoods, which the Red Crescent is now trying to play a role?
We are in an unprecedented situation, as we know. The potential victims could possibly be ourselves, and the victims of this COVID-19 could be economic, and often not just health could be affected, but also our daily income, our job prospects, and that's affected millions of Malaysians, and we have to be really constantly aware of it. So we have to change the Red Crescent, the way that we look at the people that we help. So we need to look at the vulnerable groups, the B40, the aged, the single mothers, the homeless, and also the refugees. The issue of migrancy is a problem for Malaysia, and they are also high-risk people who could potentially be affected by the virus. And we need to protect these groups of people. So the Red Crescent really has to form a short-term and also long-term strategy to support these vulnerable groups.
Can you tell us a little bit more about some of the initiatives that the Red Crescent Malaysia has actually embarked on during this pandemic? I know there's the hashtag Respond Malaysia to kind of push, to kind of highlight some of the good work that the volunteers and the responders have done during this time.
Yeah. because Response Malaysia has come from our effort to try and garner support from all Malaysian corporate bodies and the private sector individuals, and also we've got support from the government as well. So we've got tremendous corporate support. We've raised about 5.5 million ringgit in cash, and in kind about 3.5 million ringgit in kind. And corporate people have come with ventilators. We have donated about 300,000 face masks, 20,000 isolation gowns. We've distributed 30,000 meals for those in need. We've distributed 10,000 food packs. I mean, those are things that we need to keep going. So Response Malaysia really wants to stimulate this urge to help each other and help those most in need, people with needs in the hospitals, our frontliners. We've distributed 20,000 or more isolation gowns, and we indeed have made our own 80,000 face shields by our volunteers. We'll be distributing them to hospitals and clinics and community health centers. So we've used our own initiative. So we've got tremendous support from volunteers in all the states and under very stressful situations as well. So they've come forward to help.
That's wonderful. Puteri, I wonder if I could just interject here and ask you, in the early days of the crisis, there was a distinction made between NGOs and those from government, and the idea was the government would handle everything. What do you think in terms of policy, especially in terms of including NGOs in the response to the crisis? What do you think could strengthen it or enable it in a way that would enhance your work at the Red Crescent?
Yeah. This is an interesting question because in the past we worked almost separately. The NGOs and Red Crescent, and then the Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat would conduct work and deliver aid, and we do it almost in separate silos sometimes. But this crisis has made us realize that we need to work together. So we've formed a national collaboration hub as a response to this crisis, made up of NGOs who are sharing information. We're starting to share information on how to direct aid to which area, which group. So we want to build up this network of collaboration, of information between the NGOs, and also that private sectors can also participate and see where they can help in the gaps that are available. Okay. So this has created a first time in our history a collaboration effort among NGOs, the Red Crescent, the government agencies, the private sector, the donors, and I hope this will be a platform for us to address further crises, and I don't know about the COVID crisis, which may prolong.
Yeah. Well, I'm really heartened to hear about how much money you've raised, how much people are willing to give during this difficult time. Are you concerned that people might be reaching a point of, say, compassion fatigue, of charity fatigue, that they too are struggling, and it might not be, something that they want to continue to keep giving?
Yeah, it's a good question, Melisa, as well. I mean, compassion fatigue is a phenomenon which is natural. It's part of human nature. The need to conserve for ourselves. But again, this crisis, I cannot emphasize enough. This is not the time to have compassion fatigue. Almost, we must fight it. We must fight this internal desire to think of ourselves only, because it's time for us all to be accountable. And to each other. And we have to put the needs of ourselves and our frontliners. Try to imagine ourselves as a frontliner at the hospital, as a nurse, as a guard, as a doctor, that we need to protect, to help protect them. We need to help protect the aged. We need to help protect those who have lost a job or been put on temporary leave. Perhaps people who wouldn't normally need help may run out of milk, or may be without a comfortable food in their homes.
For sure.
So keep an eye out for each other, our neighbors.
You're absolutely right.
Our
You know,
friends.
it's true that the people that may need help are the people you may not necessarily think need the helping hand. Thank you so much for speaking with us, Tunku Puteri. It's really been a pleasure, and continue the good work to you and your team. And Selamat Hari Raya to you. Appreciate your time.
Raya. Thank you very much. Please look up Malaysia Red Crescent and continue to support us.
Will do. Thank you. All right, next we're going to cross over to our colleague Hilmi Malik, who is at the Selangor Police Headquarters. Over to you, Hilmi.
Terima kasih Mel dan Sharaad di Bukit Kewangan. Baik, ini adalah booth ucapan sempena dengan Lebaran AWANI dan saya kini berada di Ibu Pejabat Kontingen Selangor, IPK Selangor, untuk bersama dengan petugas-petugas frontliner dan sepanjang tempoh PKP ini, PKPB, PKPD dan bermacam-macam peringkat mereka tempuhi sebelum ini yang pastinya berkorban masa dan jiwa mereka dalam situasi negara berdepan pandemik COVID-19 ini. Dan hari ini saya ingin bersama-sama mereka, saya bawakan kepada anda untuk mereka yang ingin menzahirkan ucapan ataupun pesanan sempena Aidilfitri ini. Dan saya kini berada sebelahan dengan DSP Iskandar selaku daripada Jabatan Pengurusan IPK Selangor. Sama-sama kita dengarkan apa kata daripada beliau.
Terima kasih Esra AWANI. Saya DSP Iskandar bin Hamzah dari Jabatan Pengurusan Ibu Pejabat Polis Kontingen Selangor ingin mengingatkan sempena menjelang Aidilfitri yang bakal kita raikan, sila patuhi syarat-syarat yang telah digariskan sempena PKPB yang masih berkuat kuasa. Sila patuhi jarak dan juga menjaga keselamatan diri serta kebersihan diri dan pakailah penutup muka dalam kita meraihkan Lebaran pada kali ini. Oleh itu, bagi siapa yang mengenali diri saya ingin mengucapkan selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri, maaf zahir dan batin. Terima kasih.
Baik, terima kasih DSP Iskandar atas kata-kata itu tadi. Dan sekarang ini, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, buat penonton Esra AWANI, saya ingin membuka ruang kepada mereka, anggota-anggota frontliner kita yang telah pun banyak berkorban selama ini untuk diberi ruang untuk mengucapkan ucapan Aidilfitri mereka pada masa ini. Dan untuk itu, apa kata kita bersama dengan mereka pada masa ini?
Saya ASP Sirin binti Buntenam Ikasu daripada Jabatan Siasatan Jenayah Selangor ingin mengucapkan salam Aidilfitri kepada keluarga saya yang berada di Johor, warga polis Diraja Malaysia dan juga kepada seluruh rakyat Malaysia. Walau di mana kita berada, raikanlah dengan rasa kesyukuran, patuhi PKPB yang telah ditetapkan. Kepada semua petugas-petugas frontliner, selamat bertugas, selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri, maaf zahir dan batin.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya ASP Nasrul Hadi bin Jahat dari Unit Pengurusan Lesen Jabatan Pengurusan IPK Selangor yang mengucapkan selamat Hari Raya maaf zahir dan batin kepada rakan-rakan saya yang berada di Federal Selatan, Bahawal Negeri Sembilan dan juga saudara mara yang berada di Melaka dengan ucapan sekali lagi selamat Hari Raya maaf zahir dan batin.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya ASP Nik Ahmad Khairuddin bin Wadi daripada Jabatan Pengurusan Ibu Pejabat Polis Kontingen Selangor ingin mengucapkan selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri, maaf zahir dan batin kepada kedua ibu bapa saya, ibu bapa mertua saya yang berada di Dungun, Terengganu serta rakan-rakan tawanan yang mengenali saya. Bersama-sama kita memerangi COVID-19.
Assalamualaikum, saya Lance Corporal Eddie daripada JSJ IPK Selangor. Di sini saya ingin memberi ucapan kepada keluarga, terutama kepada Ma. Abang minta maaf, abang tak dapat balik, tak dapat beraya bersama Ma, dan kepada semua rakan-rakan, sahabat andai dan yang mengenali diri saya mengucapkan selamat Hari Raya maaf zahir dan batin.
Assalamualaikum, saya Lance Corporal Syafiq, Jenayah IPK Selangor ingin mengucapkan selamat Hari Raya maaf zahir batin kepada seluruh keluarga di Kelantan dan Pahang. Mak, orang tak boleh balik ke raya ni kena kerja. Nanti habis COVID, orang balik lah. Orang bawa anak bini semua balik. Dan kepada sahabat karib saya, Muhammad Adik bin Abdul Aziz, selamat Hari Raya, maaf zahir batin. Assalamualaikum abah, long semua. Assalamualaikum, terima kasih.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya Lance Corporal Intan daripada Jabatan Siasatan Jenayah IPK Selangor ingin mengucapkan selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri kepada semua rakyat Malaysia dan juga kepada keluarga saya yang berada di Sabah. Minta maaf tak dapat balik. Terima kasih.
Assalamualaikum, saya Sarjana Nur Hayati binti Nilah daripada Cawangan Kebajikan IPK Selangor. Ingin mengucapkan selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri kepada seluruh keluarga di Johor dan Terengganu. Salam ampun maaf kepada ayah bonda kerana tak dapat balik kampung. Selamat Hari Raya Maaf Zahir Batin.
Assalamualaikum, saya ASP Zawiyah binti Hamad daripada Jabatan Pengurusan Ibu-Jawat Polis Kontingen Selangor. Ingin mengucapkan selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri kepada ibunda tercinta, anak-anak juga seluruh kaum keluarga yang berada di Perak. Jangan bersedih kerana kita tidak dapat menyambut Hari Raya pada tahun ini bersama. Juga tidak ketinggalan kepada warga polis di Raja Malaysia. Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri, maaf zahir dan batin.
Baik, itu dia tadi ucapan daripada wira-wira negara kita yang telah pun berkorban sepanjang situasi sukar ini. Apa yang pasti mereka berkorban masa terutamanya dalam menyambut Aidilfitri ini dan tidak seperti anda semua yang boleh ataupun masih berkesempatan untuk pulang beraya bersama keluarga. Dan ini antara pengorbanan yang telah pun mereka tempuhi sepanjang detik sukar ini. Dan untuk itu apa kata kita dengarkan ucapan keseluruhan daripada pihak IPK Selangor.
Kami dari Ibu-Jawat Polis Kontingen Selangor ingin mengucapkan Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri, maaf zahir dan batin.
Okey, baik, sebelum kita kembali berita langsung bersama Mel dan Sharaad Bukit Kawangan, apa kata kita sama-sama saksikan ucapan yang telah pun saya sediakan dari beberapa lagi anggota lain di berlainan lokasi. Untuk itu silakan.
Saya Inspektor Ahya dari unit drone PBSM mengucapkan Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri, maaf zahir dan batin kepada keluarga.
Saya ASP Abdul Hafiz bin Ahmad dari unit drone PBSM ingin mengambil kesempatan ini untuk mengucapkan Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri kepada ahli keluarga saya yang berada di kampung, sahabat handai yang mengenali serta seluruh warga PBSM.
Saya Konstable Sweep daripada Pasukan Gerakan Udara Bukit Aman ingin mengucapkan Selamat Hari Raya Maaf Zahir dan Batin kepada ahli keluarga saya, saudara mara saya dan juga kawan-kawan saya yang berada di Kota Kinabalu, Sabah.
Saya Superintendent Rasha Azaldin bin Syafi'i mengambil kesempatan ini mengucapkan Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri kepada kaum keluarga, sahabat andai, warga PBSM dan seluruh rakyat Malaysia. Di samping itu, selaku Ketua Unit Drone Pasukan Gerakan Udara Polis Diraja Malaysia mengucapkan Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri, maaf zahir dan batin.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Kullu ami wa antum bikhair. Bagi yang mengenali diri saya dan seluruh pegawai dan anggota di bahagian D9 CID Selangor, memohon ampun dan maaf kepada keluarga di kampung kerana tidak dapat berhari raya pada kali ini kerana menjaga keselamatan dan keamanan negara. Dan kami bahagian D9 Selangor mengucapkan Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri, maaf zahir dan batin.
Saya ACP Baharudin Memad Taib selaku Ketua Pengerusi Shah bersama seluruh warga IPD Shah ingin mengucapkan Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri, maaf zahir dan batin.
Thanks so much, Halim, for that festive compilation. We're going to take a short break, so stay tuned to Lebaran AWANI.